and I busy the schedule. Shit, I had to get it together.
Every time I hit the
Welcome to Sports Music Other Shit. I'm your co-host, Vic.
I'm your co-host, Big John, a.k.a. the Black Jerry Maguire.
And we're here with Big Sid, owner, founder of Winter Regret Conglomerate. You know what I'm talking about? Inc. You know what I'm talking about? Record label. You know what I'm talking about? Production company. You know what I'm talking about? What's up, Big Sid?
Everything. The gumbo.
What's up, bro?
What's going down, man? It's good to see y'all again, man. I'm glad to be back with my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Absolutely. So, Sid, man, I just want you to give the people a little backdrop about yourself. I know when we first came in contact with you, we came together and we did some concerts. That's what you was doing at the time. You've managed to turn that into something very, very, very special, man. So I just want you to kind of give it from your perspective, where you started at, and then we'll just take, bits and pieces from there.
Yeah, man. So originally I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, man, third coast, right on the border of, Texas border and stuff. So grew up off the Houston scene, plus we got a bit of the taste of the New Orleans scene, you know what I'm saying? So just in the middle, and man, I was young then, so about 15, 16 years old, man, I was already really trying to get into the music and stuff, man, about that time and stuff. I'd already started dabbling in the studios and was walking to the studios on Saturdays, man, and just trying to get in some hours and trying to put music together, you know what I mean? I really couldn't do rap to that extent and stuff, but, throughout high school, that's what I was on. And then, moved on, man, to about my senior year of high school, man. I worked with this artist, man, rest in peace, the Vicious, man, from X-Mob. He was like, that dude in Lake Charles, you know what I mean? He had a lot of respect, came up under Pimp C, UGK, was also signed at one point to Scarface and stuff, was highly respected, man. But when he had got out of prison, I was in high school, and he gave me the opportunity to get on his first album and stuff like that. It was called Ball Like Kobe, man. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, too. And, that was my first experience of trying to get on a CD and stuff at that time. Pimp C was on there, ESG was on there, man. And then myself, I'm 17 years old, on a CD like this, that people were looking forward to. It was his first solo album and stuff. And at that same time, I'd already signed up to go to the military. So, went to the military, man, went to the Air Force. And at that point, that's what got me to San Angelo, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Got me all the way to Texas. And, at that point, I was still doing music, still was trying to put out stuff. I was working on an album called Southern Comfort, had that come out, man. I had the chance to work with Big Mo, DJ DMD at the time, D-Rec from Rec Shop, Toe Down. I even had Vicious on that project, and a couple of my high school friends was on there and stuff too as well. Got with the legendary Mike Frost to do the artwork, and it was an actual real album that I'd put out just under myself. But the thing was, even when I started, I never really wanted to be an artist, man. I really studied the business side of things, man. I was really big into the Master P's and seeing Baby come up with Cash Money, and then the Rough Riders coming up. But I was also really deep into the independents that was doing it. So the D-Rex, just the different people that was coming out of Texas too as well, that were doing big things on the independent scale. So that's what I was really wanting to mimic as much as I could. But when I got to West Texas and stuff, man, you go to somewhere to where you don't have a base, nobody really knows you or anything like that. And I had to figure out a way to get people to know who Big Sid was. I was a military kid, didn't really have any connections in the streets and in the clubs of what people listen to and stuff. So at that time, man, I was in the military. By that time, I was already in there about 2 years or something. And I knew at my 21st birthday, I was like, I'm going to throw a birthday bash for myself, but I'm going to bring the artists that people listen to and stuff. And so at that time, I was promoting a song called Straight Off the Porch, had Magno and my partner Mello on it. And, I did my first birthday bash. So I brought Charlie Boy, Magno, Dirty Third at the time, Third Degree as well. Live Ola came through and stuff for me. And at that time in San Angelo, they didn't really have too many concerts. So, it was one of those things that merged people to know who I was as Big Sid, plus, let them see their artists that they've been listening to and stuff. So that's what really started the connection. So at that point in time, I was still going back, doing music with these guys, everybody that I was trying to work with too, as well, just to build that relationship with a lot of these dudes in Texas. And man, I just kept going, from that year. First year, I think it did okay and stuff. I didn't really make no money. You know what I'm saying? Second year, I remember I lost, but it wasn't even about the loss. I mean, I had changed some different things up. Really didn't know I didn't know how to promote concerts. It was just something that worked for me one time. I wanted to try it again. Fell on my ass the second time. Then when the third time came around, bounced back up. And by that fourth birthday bash, man, that's when I brought Slim Thug out here. And that's when it just really sold it for me and stuff. And at that point, the club was just like, hey, you can't do no more events here. You need to go somewhere else. So at that point, that's when we moved over to, I'm still in the military, still doing my thing. I remember I had orders to go to Georgia. And I had to make a decision if I wanted to stay in San Angelo, which I had already just started growing in that market, or go to Georgia and start over again. And, ultimately, I really did want to go to Georgia because Atlanta was going to be what it is now. It's that mecca of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People go to Atlanta. You see the award shows there. You see everything that's going there. I wanted to be there to get my foot in the door and get in that position and stuff. But concerts and stuff started working for me in San Angelo. And I was like, you know what? I ain't going to leave what I've already started. So I had to sign. I think I signed back on for another like 3 or 4 years to stay in San Angelo, whatever it was. And, I still started doing the concerts and they started getting bigger. I went to the River Stage and started doing summer bashes. And, I was now starting to become more into the promotion side of things. I was still dabbling with the music, still doing things because that was the goal. It was always, hey, put out some music, go promote it at your concerts. I was only doing these concerts once a year for my birthday and then a summer bash. And we were staying in it, man, and we was able to do it for 10 years, and we was able to do some other events along inside of that trail and stuff. Ended up doing the military for 9.5 years, got out, was like, okay, what I'm gonna do in life? Ended up going to school, going to, get my degree in entertainment business. I even got my master's and stuff, and opened up a music store at that time. But it was at the time when music stores was really on the decline. So it was really a music and clothing store. But the only reason I was doing it because I needed a place to sell my tickets for my venue at the time. And at the same time, I had a venue that's called the Beauregard, still running that to this day and stuff too. And it was one of those, man. At that time, I was really trying to learn a lot more because now I'm outside of the military. I'm really on my feet with just trying to do music and, just trying to do the promotions and all that other stuff. And by this time now I'm 30 years old. So, the game's a little bit different and stuff. You know how the game goes. It changed every decade for the most part. And you got to change with the times and stuff like that. So I wasn't doing much at music at that time, but I was still more at that point. I was more hands-on in this market of trying to do concerts and events and stuff like that. Ended up falling into the same place that I was throwing the concerts for the city and stuff. Ended up getting back into a position to bring, contracts and events to the city of San Angelo as well, to, negotiate those events. And at the same time of being able to still do my own. At that point, and I mean, I've been blessed enough to be able to do a lot of different things, and it's been a climb. Y'all know it. You've been around during the time of the whole transition and just climbing and just trying to stay relevant in the game that keeps evolving. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, if you don't evolve with the game, you'll definitely get left behind. At one point, I definitely felt like I got left behind, so I had to catch back up.
Yeah, talk about how you evolved in the game because at that one point in time we was doing concerts, man. It was at the height where artists would come out with one song and then they would be charging $10,000 for a song. And so now it's hard because now you got these venues, you got to upsell on your tickets and stuff like that. How did you evolve in the game with that adjustment? How did you make that adjustment?
Man, a lot of it that people don't really understand is the L's that you take really gonna adjust you. You know what I'm saying? That's that correction that you got to get. You know what I'm saying? Most people, when they get corrected, they're gonna go the other way. They're gonna go left and leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of us have to take that correction, take those notes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And evolve from that point. You know what I mean? That's basically how it happened for me. I don't think it was just. It stayed about building relationships, and learning from those mistakes that you have made along the way somehow. That's how you evolve into the other part of it, because you know you are what your legacy is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People don't remember the L's that you take if you keep going. You know what I mean? They only see the big W's that you didn't have now, but they don't realize that you took so many L's along the way. Like, you don't understand what it took for me to get to this point. Most people would quit. You know what I mean? At that point. So I mean, that's the biggest thing that I could say that really helped me evolve, was learning from those mistakes and those turns that just wasn't, should have not done, you know what I'm saying? Or dang, I wish I would have did it this way or whatever. You know what I mean? That's how you grow in this industry.
I look at everything you just said, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you did it in reverse. Most people learn the back office of the business to be a rapper. You was rapping first and to get to the back office.
Yeah.
Right. So was that by coincidence, or was that like something that was planned? Because like that's total opposite. Everybody I ever knew wanted to rap. They would take some kind of position within the record label as, driving the truck, promotions, whatever, and then one day in the studio they happen to get on the track, and then now they're a rapper. You did it differently, So was that by coincidence?
At 16, man, 17, I really wanted to put my money into something or somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't trust what it was. Nobody took it as serious as what I did. So if you fail and it's just on you, you got you to blame. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So if you fail early and it's with somebody else, you could be deterred from doing it again and saying, hey, I'm going to run after this again. I never had that much trust. I just learned how to trust, and get with somebody to put a project like we're doing now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's talk.
It's even with everything else, like you said, like when I went to school for entertainment business and entrepreneurship and innovation and stuff, like the courses and stuff, man, like that stuff was a breeze. But you got to understand, by that time, I'm already a decade into the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shoot, the entertainment business classes is like, what would you do? I mean, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? What did I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just a different way of coming at it. So, I was blessed enough to be able to just zoom past all that, and do very well at it. But again, I think I took that road early on, man. I was, bruh, I can even say it from this point. That first album that I speak of, Rest in Peace of Vicious, gave me my chance and everything. But I remember seeing the back of that and not seeing my name in the credits and feeling a certain way. I'm 18 at that time.
Yeah.
So I knew never, ever again will that ever happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're going to follow through with it all. It ain't going to be no trust and all that other stuff. And again, that's just stuff that you learn from the game. I'm not saying it was somebody's mistake. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's fault. But at the end of the day, those are the things that you got to take, and you just, put them in your pocket and say, hey, I'll never let it happen to me again, instead of saying, man, forget this, man. He did me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
It's a different way of looking at the outlook of things, man. People think it's easy for a lot of this stuff whenever they see it from a different perspective. But when you in it, like y'all know how it was, when you in it, you see it from a whole different eye. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's a whole different beast.
Yeah. I said, when you I just kind of, where'd you get this business acumen from? Like, where did you pick that up? Was that some from, family members, or some that you grew up under in the household?
Man, so yeah, I grew up in a strict household, man. It was business first. You did the work first. You know what I'm saying? You got the work done, then you move forward and whatever else you want to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the work had to get done first. So, I was young. Again, I'm going to the studio early on in my life, but also, you got to realize I was cutting yards. My dad was doing this little lawn service for me to make some money and stuff like that, man. And shoot, that's, you start learning about business then, how to, manage some of your money and stuff like that. I need X amount of dollars to go to the studio to get certain amount of hours. You know what I mean? And just, you was on a strict path then. I was already putting myself in that situation. Like, man, I got 4 hours. I got to make sure I lay 2 songs. This before Pro Tools and all this, man. This is ADATs, you know what I'm saying? This was a different style of recording. You had to rap over yourself again and again, the ad libs and every ad lib you had to put in. Man, I'm that young at the time in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I grew when there was first Pro Tools came out and all that other stuff. I was young. You know what I'm saying? So it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a journey. And I really got it from my family for the most part. We took care of business as always. We was told, that's how you make it in this world. You take care of business first, and then after that, you have all the fun you want to have.
Right.
Yeah, I knew you was a bit different when we started doing shows together in San Antonio, and it was just me, Johnny Hobbs, and like we was working our ass off, and then we go there to meet you. You got a whole crew, you got security, you got dudes working the doors.
Yeah. But see,
I was like, God damn, who's this dude?
but see, by that time, you know what I'm saying? And I will say this, I was lucky enough for my first birthday bash to have people that rode with me throughout it. And then when it really got to going, when it got to where it was about to go, you know what I'm saying? And then when I met you all, I mean, it was just the perfect timing of it, man. When you know how it was, when you have your own security, it's a lot, we control it. I wanted to control. You know what I'm saying? If we can control it, there's no way somebody else should be able to penetrate through and sabotage something, to mess something up and stuff. I want my whole crew. That way they know from the door to the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we operated. And, that was success.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Because, I flipped over to the sports side of things after the shows and everything. And one thing I realized is that control is everything. Right.
Yeah.
And you don't want to come off as a control freak, but if the things that you can control, you need to control those in order for you and your business to grow. If you don't control them yourself and somebody else is controlling them, you're always going to be wondering what if, or you're always going to be, like you say, not being on the credits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's how I go, man. And you know what's crazy? My first time ever working with somebody in a position of like, hey, we partners was you all. That was the first time that I ever really had a partner in something. You know what I'm saying? So it really had to teach me to sit back on. Y'all know how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. and us being really just getting started at that time. I mean, had a couple of up on our belt, but really just about to hit that button.
I remember. Yeah, I remember y'all was coming off a J-Dog concert.
Yeah, that wasn't a good experience.
I know. But I remember that conversation. That's the one I remember. Yeah,
that was a hell.
Yeah.
But that was again. If you would have never made that call, where would you be? Where would it be? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's a lot, and that's another thing that I speak upon with people is the relationship side of things. Who would have known the relationship side of things of where we all would venture off to go to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the biggest part about it all. Y'all took an L and still won at the end of the day. Long down the line, you won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah.
But again, people don't see it like that.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, when working with you and me having to talk to you like all the time, because
oh man, did he?
How the Vic just was like, yo, hey man, you got it, man. How did Sid? Damn, I gotta call Sid. All right, fuck it. So then it was a whole different appreciation for me because I'm having these conversations. So I'm actually like, damn, he got a point. He ain't just talking out the side of his face, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like you say, it's hard to trust people in these arenas that we have because it's such a dog-eat-dog world, either get eight situation, and it's hard to trust people. But once I started learning things from you, I was like, all right, cool. So we took that shit on to our next show and our next show and our next show and our next show. And next thing you know is player's choice, the fix, and score more in the state. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Anybody else outside of that, they was kind of like on the outside.
That was it at the time, man. It was just us.
Yeah.
It was just us.
Yeah.
Like there was a time when that's it. You know what I mean? There wasn't nothing else. It was either score more was bringing it, or it was the other team was gonna bring it. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that was some conversations. That was some good. Again, it's one of those where you when you in them trenches, because I felt at that point in time we was in a competition in some point. You know what I'm saying? However, I don't really care to say competition in days like this, but at that time, for sure, you got to say it was one of those. Hey, and I think it brought the best out of both sides too, as well. There was times that, you know what I'm saying? It really, like, I even know that Hobbs say that, like, you know, he's had the conversation of, you know, man, he respects it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, absolutely.
What we was bringing back then to it and stuff, because again, I can go back to the Big Crit situation on that. You know, Crit you know, I know we were the first to get up on that, but I remember I got a verse from him. And that's where it kind of started at, was, you know, I'm gonna get this verse from you, and then my plans is I'm gonna bring you down. You know what I'm saying? And instead, I'm gonna bring you, because I know that they were gonna try to bring them down or do something, you know, to bring them to different markets. I felt it was only right for us to say, well, shoot, let's just try to do them in 2 markets, you know, and that's what we did. I did San Angelo, I did San Antonio and San Angelo. You know what I'm saying? From that point, you know, that relationship was in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in there. I remember even from the point of I had to pick up Dutch, his manager. He stayed in Houston, or he stayed in Houston at the time and stuff. And I was coming from Houston, or I was staying in San Antonio, and I drove to Houston to pick him up, to bring him back, because those 6 hours meant to me. You know what I'm saying? What it meant to be in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? In that conversation with somebody, they got to get to know you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever you want to go do, we're going to go do it, and I'm going to make sure I'm there. That way, you know, you're not going to forget who Sid is. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just, again, it's all about the relationships of building from that point forward. And I think I don't think, I can say this, I don't think mentally I could have challenged, been a force like that without, you know what I'm saying, y'all side of it. Because it just brought another side that I needed, that was going to help me even be better at what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? I think we all just brought the best out of each other in those situations and stuff.
That's true. It's definitely
absolutely.
true. Hey, let's fast forward to now. She got the shirt on, Sensei.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How did that come to fruition and come to be this project?
Man, that's crazy, because I think it's only, June, whatever. I think next week will actually be a year from when me and Pokey actually met each other for the first time and started working with each other in the studio. So it hasn't even been a year for me and him to, you know, have this relationship, this bond that we got, the chemistry and stuff. So shout out to my boy Mello and stuff, man. He's a heavy hitter that's still in the game, still does the music thing. We always talk about it. One of my good friends, man, or I could call him one of my best friends and stuff when it comes to this. And you know, I was at the time working on a different project at that time, and I will say this, I wanted to do like a Screwed Up Click project, an album and stuff, man. But the first person that I hollered at was Big Pokey to just try to jump on something. But I didn't really say that I was going to do a Screwed Up Click album. It was just like, man, hey, man, let me just get you to jump on some stuff. So he came in, man, handled business. The song was Stacks at the time. That's one of the songs on the album and stuff. It was Stacks. That was the first song he did. He laid the first, how it really goes is he did that verse, which is the second verse on the song. And I sat on it for some time. Had somebody else that was really supposed to get on the song. They couldn't get on there. And since they couldn't get on the song or whatever, man, I was telling Mello, I was like, bro, I got to figure out something so I don't do this Screwed Up Click stuff, but I want to do a solo album with somebody, you know, because I had the Chameleonaire feature and stuff, and I was already in the groove of just doing music by that time. I took a break, got back in the studio, was already working on different songs and shit. And then, you know, like I say, got with Pokey. By that time, got with Pokey and shit, we just started working, man. I told him, hey, man, I really want to try to work on something. By that time, we did like 2 or 3 songs. And I just said, hey, I want to see you do an album. And I feel like I got it, you know? So at first, it was one of those business situations, you know? It was real business oriented. Hey, man, just meet me at the studio at this time. I already sent you the tracks, just already have them written, and we're gonna go from there. But we actually grew as starting to learn each other as just men, you know what I'm saying? And just our paths in this industry and talking about, 20 years of doing music and, me being a kid, busting down a tape of his, and now being in this situation and knowing that I am a fan of his, but I also want to see something that could shake up Texas, Houston, however you want to see it, that people are going to be impressed with and stuff. And I told him, I said, he kept telling me like, man, if we do something special, man, it's going to be, it could be possibly considered a classic, but I think I got it in me to do it, and we just, our chemistry together worked very well and stuff. That's the thing that I can honestly say about me and him. Once we got into it, which I can say about time frame about September, about November, that's when we really got into a groove of, hey, we really gonna do this and going to make something special. So at that point, we getting with Devin the Dude, doing songs with Chucky Trill, you know what I'm saying? And just going from there, just really vibing out. I was starting to make more and more trips to Houston and just zoning out with him, man, on Sundays. It was every Sunday for the most part, or every other Sunday we was getting in the studio. I was making that trip and just showing him that I wanted the dedication of it because he's a vet in this game, man. And it's crazy to really think that somebody over 20 years that didn't put an album out in 13 years could still be surviving off of music from back then, because he's the only really be performing stuff that he did in 99 and 2001, and they still jamming to it like it's new. You know what I'm saying? And I had the chance to just be on the road with him and see him still do the shows and all that other stuff, man. And just knowing like, man, this man really does have a base and they really want this music. And I felt like it's my duty to give him the best project, because for me, it's my first project as an album. So we can talk about the first time I went to the studio and, man, he trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my thing. And again, when I tell you I didn't want to put my money behind somebody, 20 years later, that's when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You put your money behind somebody and damn, what happens? You 2 million streams now, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. Trust me, I would have loved to have done it beforehand, but it didn't happen. It happened at the perfect time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
it happened when it was supposed to happen. It happened when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, man. And I'm a firm believer in it. And living through this process and seeing it, I don't question a lot of things no more. I just let them be for what they are. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't question this. This was during, man, we worked on this album during COVID. My rental venue shut down at the time. I literally had to figure out, okay, Sid, what are you going to do with this amount of time now that you don't have the venue? What would you do with it? I'm gonna go back and try to make music, and that's exactly what I did. Every session, everything that's on there, I was in every session, man, and giving my feedback and on the boards, whatever I wanted to, what I felt I hear on tracks, all that other stuff, man. And he gave me a lot of reign with trying to make that happen. He just wanted to make sure that his image and who he is wasn't watered down. You know what I mean? That was our biggest thing, was do not water him down to make him sound, just not the Pokey that people expect. And, again, I just felt we was under some pressure, but I don't think it was pressure, because once our chemistry got evolved, me and him both knew, like, man, we are being blessed right now to the way this music is actually coming out and stuff, man, and just the process of it. So, again, man, it's chemistry. You know what I'm saying? It's all chemistry that made this all happen. Everything we've done is chemistry and just the grace of God just being on our side of, hey, let me put this together. It's perfect timing again.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you, I put the album on the other day when I was going for a job. I put it on, man, and I was like, nigga, damn, I forgot how hard Pokey went. Nigga, that nigga shit was,
man.
Like,
yeah.
That boy is rapping on there, bro. Like, like track to track.
Yeah, every track, man. What'd you say, John?
I said from front to back.
That's how it was supposed to be, man. And I remember days we sat together and we were just like, man, are we tripping, or is this really pretty good? You know what I'm saying? Like, we really had them days, and it was just like, bro, I hope that we not tripping. And that time frame, even up till the album was coming out, other people had heard it and they was like, yeah, man, now that's jamming. But it's people that I knew. It wasn't people that just are on the outside. So seeing it from the fan perspective and just, you know, going on Twitter and just seeing what the fans are saying about Big Pokey. I mean, that just is, to me, I've never had that. That's one of those feelings that's just different. You know what I'm saying? On the music side of it. I felt it when we did concerts and, you know, all that other stuff. But now to really be in the music and be able to work with a veteran that's, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people count out OGs in that older class of vets and stuff like that. Yeah. Man, the love that's just been received from other veterans that's in the game and idols and people that I would look up to just show that type of love back to me. Like, man, you really did something this time around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something special. That's a whole different vibe, man. That's a whole different feeling and stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you next. So I know, you know, me and you had some conversations, you know, previously about you wanting to do more of those type of things. Now that you see what you can do with Pokey, what's your next thing? I mean, I know you're gonna ride this one out all the way, and you can work together. But how do you bring other OGs into the focus? Because we're in a new time, we're in a new day and age now, where people don't have to leave their house to go get it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And you don't even have to steal it. You just go stream it. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of those guys that we grew up on, they can benefit from this era because there's still people like us who want to have their music and you can't get a physical copy anymore. You know, so what's next?
Man, it's weird you say that because I've had, ever since that project came out, man, I've had, you know, multiple of artists, opportunities of artists that's just like, man, I want to do something. You know, you inspired me to, you know what I'm saying, see that we can really do something in this game. It didn't matter about age. It was just do pure music that's just fits our range. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we forget that Pokey's fans are as old, you know, we're older now. You know what I'm saying? We own, you know, on you know, the Apples and Spotify's and, you know what I'm saying, the YouTubes and stuff too as well. You know what I mean? We on there. We just gotta give it to them in a certain way on the marketing side of things and stuff, man. But, you know, looking at future stuff, don't get me wrong, there is some more that's in there that I would like to maybe check, you know what I'm saying, and try out and stuff. The biggest thing that really helped in Pokey's favor is that, and this is one thing that he probably speaks on too as well, is that he never burned his term. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't know what he was going to sound like after 13 years. You know what I mean? So it had a side to it of mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, Chameleonaire would be like somebody that would be, hey, he put out another album. We want to know what he's going to sound like in 2021. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't burn his term. You know what I'm saying? He's not just steadily putting out music. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the era of putting out a lot of music. So some artists have put out a lot of music and stuff like that. But to me, I think that just hurts our industry because we're trying to follow that wave. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of following the wave of, you know, for me, I know there's certain music that I still play to this day that I just go back and listen to because that's just my routine of what I listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And nothing has broke me out of that routine. You know what I'm saying? So when something good does come along, it does take the place of that. I'm not one of those that's quick to change on different music. I'm not. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to play it. I'm going to burn it up. You know what I'm saying? If it's some good music, it's some good music and it's going to get that burn from me. But I love to do it. I love to do some more partnerships. There's some other things that I would like to get into, man, of more of, you know, some third coast music, you know, just some joint ventures and stuff like that as well, man. I think the South is really missing that independent record label again. I really do. You know, everybody runs to the major and wants the major look and stuff. Me, man, and I've realized that, man, Texas music is so big in this world. You know what I'm saying? And just everything. You know, you can travel from Texas, Louisiana, to Oklahoma, to Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? All that surrounding area and stuff, and probably dabble in other areas and stuff. You know, for me, it's not about trying to get to the major side of things and stuff like that, because my goal was to learn every aspect of the industry. Artist, manager, I can run the club, I can sign the contract, I can promote my own events, I can do whatever I want to do. I know that side of it. And that's probably my biggest goal, is to make that into a bigger branch independently for Win or Regret and stuff. To where at some point I can take Pokey and, hey, we can do a tour ourselves. We got the merch, we got the teams, you know what I'm saying? We just need to find somebody that's on deck in those areas, or send somebody out or whatever. But be able to operate in all those areas and stuff and keep it all in. Other than that, man, I mean, I don't really have no other. I'm blessed, man. If it all ended right now and stuff, man, I done lived a lot, bro. I done lived a lot of good dreams, man. A lot of things, bro. I had the chance to work with Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my favorite artist as a kid. You know what I mean? So knock out a video with him. Like, everything that I'm doing right now, bro, to be honest with you, is so much bonus.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. Like, it's just bonus for me at this point, because I just really wanted, I didn't want them. I didn't think I would do as much as I've already have done and gotten this far and stuff. But again, you just keep evolving and you keep learning, and you're in it. I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at it. The things that I want money from, they ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't try to do those things no more. You know what I'm saying? It's more of, hey, man, I love music. I love the business side of things. I love marketing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you love those things in a certain aspect, you're going to push it differently, and the money going to come. You ain't got to worry about that. That's going to follow every time. You know what I mean? It ain't never followed before.
That's true.
Not followed before. You know what I'm
saying? Tell me about how'd you come up with the name Win or Regret? I think that's some dope shit. I was I think it was on Instagram one day, and I was passing. You had when you had first dropped it, you did like a little promo with the Win or Regret, and I was like,
yeah,
damn, that's a dope ass idea.
Man, it was all wins, no regrets at that time. So let's go back and talk about an L or two. So, you know, there was a time when I stopped doing music and I wasn't in the studio doing none of that stuff, man. And, you know, I had a club by that time, you know, and at that time in the club, I had already did Snoop, brought him to San Angelo, to West Texas. We had sold Boosie out within a week. We had done Lil Jon's. We were doing these things, but the more I was doing them, man, it just like, I was starting to feel like I was trapped into being a promoter, you know what I'm saying, in this community, you know what I'm saying, in that community. And I knew that life was bigger than that for me. It wasn't, you weren't supposed to just settle, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you're trying to operate a club, you know, and trying to take care of a family and all this other stuff. And I just felt like at that point in time, I wasn't living in the dream that I wanted to do, because I'd already accomplished a sold out show. You know what I'm saying? I'd already seen it all. One sold out show looked like this next sold out show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just you add no more. And once I brought Snoop here, in the back of my mind, it was like, what else can you really do? What are you gonna do that's gonna surprise anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, you won. That's it. So I really sat back, and I was doing Tejano concerts too as well, to try to keep the doors open at this club. I was having to do hip hop, and I was doing the Tejano show. But man, them Tejano shows wasn't life for me. That just wasn't me. It would help pay the bills, but they deals was so different, bro. They was like, all right, man, we want $1,500, $2,000, but we want 80-20 of the dough. You know what I'm saying? Or 70-30 of the dough. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, nah, bro, like, that's not how we gonna do this. But I need a guaranteed 2,000. You know, and they couldn't even get you your 2,000 back. Yeah. You know, and it was just like, and then it just felt like I was getting more, I was having to become something that wasn't me. That's when you're starting to touch, hey man, this ain't where life is supposed to be for me, man. So that's when I basically shut down all of that. I'd already been to shut down probably Player's Choice around that time. And, you know, it was just open. And I was like, what is it from this point forward? And it was just all wins, no regrets. You know what I'm saying? It's either I'm a win or I'm a regret the decisions that I didn't make in life. You know what I'm saying? That's how it came about. It's either you gonna win or you gonna regret the decisions that you should have or could have made in your life, you know? So I was like, man, it's win or regret at this point. Shoot, all wins, no regrets from this point forward. Went back to the music, baby.
That's what's up. When you gonna drop them dope ass coats, man? You was flossing them all on Instagram, but I still ain't seen them for sale nowhere, man.
Hey, we just put up the site and stuff. We only put the t-shirts, I think, up in the hats. But yeah, man, we about to get off the jackets and everything else, man. And it's bigger than that, man. It's more, you know, to win or regret than just the music side of things, man. It's more of the teaching, and I want to be able to teach people how to be in this industry, you know what I'm saying, in that type of school, and, you know, give brothers a chance to see this, because this is, man, we came from nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't get no money to give us this chance. We had to really grind from the bottom to get to where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And it's still a grind. People look at it and be like, man, you done made it, man. I still feel like I'm behind. You know what I'm saying? We still feel like it ain't, you know, I'm still evolving. I still want to learn. I still see the others that's in the game that's older than me, that's been in the game since that we was young. And they are like keys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I want to see things come to it, man. And I just, again, it's all wins, no regrets, man.
Hey, I want to touch on you had a lot of projects going on right before COVID and everything. You did something with the DJ Screw documentary.
Yeah.
I don't know what was your role in that or nothing, but I know you had something to do with it. You know, you was promoting it and everything.
Yeah.
Shine a little light on that for us before we let you get out of here.
For sure. So yeah, so I was basically, yeah, that was another lesson. That was a life lesson, man. Shit. So basically, even on that one, man, going back to it, you know, when I gave up the club, right before that, right at that time, you know, it was getting in, and that video that you speak of, that's where I was going to and stuff. That's the meeting. You know, I was starting to go to a few meetings. I was in the studios, all that stuff. When I was brought on board for that, you know, it was one of those that we didn't know where it could go. I knew that there was a lot of pieces that needed to be touched on and taken care of and stuff, but I honestly didn't know where it could end up. We know how big Screw is. Everybody knows, like, man, this could be something, but really, will people attach to it and all that? So for that one, man, shit, we really, like, when it first started and stuff, man, it was more of just trying to put the pieces together and stuff. I'll be honest. And then, you know, I know when the trailer dropped, you know, I'm gonna be honest. That was one of those ones that I put up so much money involved in it that I honestly couldn't even be on set for a lot of the stuff that was going on. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even afford to get myself out there because I was so gun-ho and just believing in what could come from it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I will say this, when that trailer dropped the first time, again, I knew at that point in time there was a lot of eyes that was watching. You know, it was the same how we did how the pokey stuff. But I knew when that trailer dropped, the people seeing it, it was dope. But that was really, the goal was always to try to get it to somewhere to where it could get a bigger budget and a better look and stuff. I will say that. There was the goal of it. You know, it was talks about saying, hey, we can do this independent and stuff. But at the end of the day, the goal was to try to find a home for it and get a better light and stuff. You know, but as time passed, man, you know, that's one thing about business. Like, you know, I'm a real business savvy, hands-on, like to be involved person. I'm not the guy that's just, hey, put up the money, be quiet and sit back. You know what I'm saying? I felt, you know, I got a lot of resources, connections. I see it from a different side, but when you're not the majority in a lot of the stuff, you ain't gonna be able to make the decisions that you may feel that you want to take. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so at that point in time, I had basically had to, you know what I'm saying? Basically had to sit back on certain things. Don't get me wrong, there was things that still came through me, but I wasn't the ultimate decision maker of it and stuff. There was things that I really felt that should have been done differently and stuff like that. There's all that stuff that I can honestly say. But again, I go back to how life is. It teaches you a big lesson. You learn your lessons throughout the whole situation. It is sitting supposedly at Sony right now. What Sony's gonna decide to do with it, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Because Sony's their own monster. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't care about Screw. You know what I mean? But who knows what they're gonna do? And right. You know, for me, you know, I hope that it gets to. We have no control over it no more. I don't really, you know, once it comes out and all that other stuff, business shall get handled how it needs to get handled. But knowing if it's gonna come out, when it's gonna come out, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If they scrap it, I don't know. You know what I mean? I do know that from the heart that it was really trying to do something for the culture. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Black people, our people, you know what I'm saying, at times don't understand how to put differences aside for the bigger cause. You know what I'm saying? And the unfortunate thing about Screw is that everybody has a story about DJ Screw, because everybody was hanging with Screw at some time in life. He was just that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't know how much of that gives you the right to be able to say, I really know the real DJ Screw story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't about the goal. I do know this. The goal never should have been or was about the screwed up clique. It was about DJ Screw. You know what I'm saying? Screw's life.
Yeah.
Of course, other people were involved in DJ Screw's life, but this is about just him, Robert Earl Davis, you know, growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know, that's one of those that I can honestly say it's a lesson. No matter how it was, you know, the ride was cool. Would I've done different things now? In hindsight, I don't know. All wins, no regrets. You know what I'm saying? You take it how they come. I wouldn't have had this pokey opportunity if I didn't do that one right there, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
So however it comes out, if it doesn't come out, if it does, that pokey opportunity, again, I just go back to how the pieces of the puzzle fell. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, I reached out around that time. You know, I'm starting to talk business with Pokey about other things, and then I think we used who that talking down in there, and you know, I'm talking business with Pokey and just trying to bring things to it. You know what I'm saying? And Pokey seeing how I am, you know, professionally in this, and you know, it just made our relationship even more stronger. So again, I can go back and say, hey, you know, like I say, I wish things would be that would have been differently for it. And, you know, but the timing wasn't at that point in time. They know now, though. I guarantee that down. They know now. You know what I'm saying? They know what Sid capable of. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, man. It's a show and prove game. It's all show and prove, man. It's all show and prove, man. The love that's received now, you want to be like, oh, you was hating on me beforehand, but it's not that. We look at it as hate when it's just, man, they want to see what you can really do. You know what I'm saying? And when you prove something to somebody, they got love for it, they're gonna come out and show you the respect that you're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? You'll know.
Thanks.
You'll know. And I see it so much now with where I'm at than what it was. It makes you think about those 20 years that you worked. You know what I'm saying? And what you did it for. That's what it seems to me. That's what it means the most to me. It's like, I didn't just start this. It may look like some of these people just not getting to know me, but there's the Big Johns and the Vicks and the Hobbs, you know what I'm saying? And there's some others that's out there that knew where this really came from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't just started, you know.
I wasn't
He
surprised
was
at all.
already involved.
Absolutely. Hey man, well, we appreciate you taking some time out today to come on
Yeah, man.
with us. Man.
We're gonna do it again.
I'm forever inspired by a lot of things that you've done, man, and it's been a blessing to know you as an individual. And just keep pushing the culture forward.
For sure, man.
You know, I ain't been able because of COVID. I usually get up my annual high side session with you there in South by. We ain't seen each other, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully this year we'll catch up again. But man,
this is the most civil conversation me and you.
Hey man, but like
we was real civil in life, you know.
But like real shit though, man, like keep grinding, bro. Like you're doing amazing things. Like, you know what I'm saying, to see where you were and to see you keep grinding year by year. I knew you was gonna eventually get to where you wanted to be because shit, when I met you way back when, I was like your mind was already set. Like your business acumen and your grind was already there. So I knew you was gonna get to where you wanted to go, bro. Just keep grinding and man, like take over the world, take over the industry like I know you can.
Hey, that's what we're gonna do, baby. We're gonna just keep pushing, man. I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all a big part of this story though. There's not no story without that, you know what I'm saying, without the shows that we did in San Antonio together, because that was a crucial part of this whole getting bigger into this game and stuff, and really spreading out bigger than what Texas was, because that was the first time that I really started just spreading it. We started venturing out and stuff. So y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man, and don't make this the last time we link up on here, man.
Oh, that's
man.
I got
All right.
y'all, man.
Send out how people get a hold of you, your social media, shoot all that out to them.
Yeah, man. Y'all can check me out on Instagram, man. Winter Regret, WINORREGRET, man. You can find us there. You can go to www.winterregret.com. Shoot, that's where you're gonna find me. You know, reach out to me. You know, if you're looking for bookings and stuff like that for Pokey or whatever, man, you can holler at me about that too as well. Or features, whatever it is, man. I'm open, man. I always like to hear from different people, man, and just inspired by other stories too as well. So don't be afraid to reach out to me, man. Hit me on the Instagram.
Bet. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Like, ooh, what I could do with a couple bands. Like, how I could have fit that to some other bands. Like, ooh, I could have been a motherfucking man. Hold up, wait.